In this problem here, you're going to see some very similar behavior that you saw with the volumes and surface areas in the previous two examples. You're given this function, g of x equals 3x cubed, and you're to answer the following. And the first one asks you, what's g of 2? Well, for this one here, just substitute 2 in for the x in this formula, and you're going to get 3 times 8, which is 24. Now, as you can see here, this x value is being cubed. Here, the x value is doubling from here to here. So if it's doubling and everything's being cubed, you should expect this to go by up as 8 times as much. If you just substitute it in, you get 3 times 64, but 64 is 8 times this amount here. So you get 192, which is 8 times this amount here. And likewise, what should be down here should be 8 times this amount, because you're going to have 3 times 512. 512 is 8 times 64. And so you get 1,536, which is 8 times this amount here. So what happens to g of x if x doubles in value? Well, the g of x is multiplied by 8. What's going to happen if it's divided by 2? You can see that going the other way. As you go from this to half as much to half as much, you're dividing by 8. Or you can say it's multiplied by 1/8 or divided by 8. They're saying the same thing. In example 4, you have a direct proportion situation here. Now, these are what typical questions look like. If y is directly proportional to the square of x and y equals 21.6 when x equals 3, answer the following. These usually are done in 3 different stages. First, you have to come up with a general formula which basically goes along with this statement: y is directly proportional to the square of x. That's the same thing as saying y equals some constant times x squared. Now you're going to take this information here that y is 21.6 when x equals 3, and you're going to substitute those in for their respective values. So this is 21.6 when this is 3. And you want to solve this for the constant k. So this becomes 9, and you're going to divide both sides by 9 to get that k equals 2.4. So now you have an equation that describes the proportionality. It's y equals 2.4x squared. So the 2.4x squared gets filled in here. You already have the y equals. Now, to answer the question, what's the value of y when x is 4? Well, you're going to let x be 4 now. And then you're going to substitute that in and calculate this. And you end up getting that y equals 38.4, which is what this answer is here. So that is the end of this problem, and that is the end of this video. If you have any additional questions, please make sure to bring them up during class.